Now at 5, we're covering Colorado first. Justice for a Denver family after a gunman pleads guilty to shooting and killing a teenager during an attempted robbery.
Nobody knows this pain.
A few showers once again may pop in some parts of the Front Range. I'm First Alert meteorologist Dave Aguilera tracking where the storms are and get ready for the summer heat.
I'm Olivia Young in Estes Park, where a third person in 10 days has been attacked by an elk. What CPW says could be behind the unprecedented attacks.
Learning from COVID, I'm your Northern Colorado reporter Dylan Thomas with more on how CSU is trying to provide at-home tests for HIV.
The news starts now. First at 5, breaking news. Fire crews working on containment of a brush fire near Bar Lake State Park. Copter 4 over the scene this afternoon near Piccadilly Road and East 128th Avenue. The Nature Center did close as a precaution. So far, a cause for this fire is not known. And there is a wildfire burning tonight near Twin Lakes in the Leadville area. Leadville Lake County Fire sharing this picture of that fire. We just learned there are some homes under a pre-evacuation notice. We, of course, are working to get more information on this fire for you, including the fire size. We will let you know as we get new details.
In our top story tonight, a mother's mission to prevent future tragedies like what her family has been through. It's been more than a year since 16-year-old Aaliyah Cortez was shot and killed during an attempted robbery in Montbello.
Now, one suspect in the case, Brandon Sandoval, who was 17 at the time, has pled guilty to second-degree murder. This comes as the state has seen an increase in the number of youth admitted for homicide and manslaughter-related charges, 172 for the fiscal year 2023, and that is a 61% increase for the Division of Youth Services from the year before.
Your reporter in Denver, Jasmine Arenas, has been following this case. She's live now from Denver Police Headquarters, and Jasmine, you spoke with her mother today.
Yes, and her mother says no amount of time behind bars could bring her daughter back. However, she is glad that one of the two suspects has now pled guilty.
This was her goal.
16-year-old Aaliyah Cortez had a lifelong goal of graduating high school.
And her biggest thing was like, I'm going to graduate and prove everybody wrong.
But her life would be cut short a year before she could make that a reality. She was fatally shot during an attempted robbery in Montbello in January of 2023.
Nobody knows this pain that a mother has to go through after burying their child.
Pictures of Aaliyah adorn her mother's walls inside her Westminster home, and her legacy lives on through her group called Slowly But Surely, a nonprofit that does a lot of community service events with the youth.
We have a good handful that they don't just come to us anymore for community service. Like, they're our family now.
Wendy Gonzalez, a mother of 9, uses the memory of Aaliyah to drive her every day. Through this work, she hopes to prevent the same pain for another family.
So I'm doing this for my daughter as well because she was just so loving and so forgiving, and she always wanted us to teach somebody else to, a different way, a better way.
Despite a heavy heart, she grants the person who took her daughter's life, 18-year-old Brandon Sandoval, some grace.
So if he sees this, is this a way of you saying, even though it's hard, I grant you forgiveness?
Yeah. I really do. I just hope he accepts his wrongs and he deals with his consequences like a man that he wanted to be when he pulled that trigger.
Well, now 18-year-old Brandon Sandoval was 17 at the time that he allegedly killed 16-year-old Aaliyah Cortez. And
all right, so Jasmine wants to hear from you about what is impacting Denver communities. You can reach out to her through our website, cbscolorado.com, or by using the number there on your screen, which is our tips line.
Your First Alert weather tonight, a chance for storms again for some of us, while others could get a little break from the rain. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Dave Aguilera in the Weather Center. So, Dave, a lot of action so far has been south of the Denver metro area.
Hey, you're exactly right. Yeah, from Denver northward, we've still been locked in the sunshine, but you can see from the foothills and south of Castle Rock in the Colorado Springs and Lyman, just a couple of thunderstorms firing down there, and I think it will stay in that location. So our southern suburbs have a chance at still seeing a couple of these isolated isolated thunderstorms back up into southern Jefferson County as well, as we've had a little bit of moisture pulling through there. And the southern sections of Douglas County, Elbert County have a marginal chance for seeing some hail down there, and that extends all the way down into southern Colorado. So Denver not in line for this, but just on the south side of Douglas and Elbert County, pushing across the Palmer Divide. So that's what we're watching tonight. Slight chance for isolated storms. And then tomorrow, the summer heat returns both Wednesday and Thursday. We are going to be just a few degrees away from the record highs. I'll show you how hot that weather is that's coming your way. And the next cold front should arrive on Friday, and we could have some severe thunderstorms along the Front Range before we make it to the weekend. I will show you all of that in the Super 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
And we look forward to it, Dave. Thank you so much. It's easy to keep up with our changing forecast. Dave updates you every 10 minutes on our 24-hour stream, CBS News Colorado. An update tonight for anybody who's had to use a major detour around our state. CDOT crews hopeful they'll be able to reopen Highway 50 bridge at Blue Mountain Reservoir in Gunnison County for the 4th of July holiday. So that bridge closed in April because of a crack in the steel beams. Crews have been working around the clock, though, to get the major passage open to travelers stuck with a long detour for now. This is the major route between Montrose and Gunnison.
All the places we put these plates, we've had to remove the paint, prep the girders for the bringing up the plates, and then we'll bolt them in place.
Your reporter in the mountains, Spencer Wilson, brings a closer look at that bridge work tonight on CBS Colorado at 6.
3 recent attacks by cow elks in Estes Park have some people on alert. Colorado Parks and Wildlife calling this unprecedented to have just so many encounters like this. And this really is the time of year when elk are protective over newborn calves. Your reporter, Olivia Young, updates us tonight from Estes Park.
This is where a woman just walking her dog was attacked by an elk on Friday. Colorado Parks and Wildlife say she startled the cow elk and tried to run away, but it knocked her down, stomped, and kicked her. It's the 3rd elk attack in Estes Park in 10 days. CPW says it's calving season and cow elk are known to charge perceived threats to their babies. But this number of attacks is unprecedented.
But actually having cow elk stomp people and make that physical contact with humans and 3 times all kind of in the same area of Estes Park is certainly unusual.
CPW has no evidence that the 3 attacks were by the same animal. Van Hoos says they would not consider euthanizing the elk in a case like this, as aggression from cows protecting babies is considered normal behavior. The agency is monitoring the attacks and considering what could be behind them.
It's most likely a combination of things like more people are in Estes Park, especially during this time of year. Estes Park is beautiful. Elk live here year-round, and in the calving season you see more elk in town. And then that creates less space for calves to be and less kind of safe space for calves as well.
The previous 2 attacks involved area children who were charged and stomped, one riding her bike and another at a playground. All 3 victims had received medical attention. CPW warns everyone in Estes Park to be cautious around elk until calving season ends in early summer. Make sure you give them a wide berth and keep dogs on a leash. In Estes Park, I'm Olivia Young, covering Colorado First.
And we have seen other dangerous run-ins with wildlife really across the state in the last few weeks. In May, a bear swiped at a man out for a walk in Steamboat Springs. And last week, a cow moose with a baby injured 2 people in Winter Park in separate cases. And a deer with a fawn was killed in El Paso County after charging a pregnant woman and stomping on some dogs. The fawn, though, is now at a wildlife rehab facility. And developing tonight at 5, jurors find President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, guilty on all counts in his federal gun trial.
Those charges stemmed from accusations he illegally bought and possessed a gun while addicted to crack cocaine. After the verdict, Hunter Biden left the courthouse holding hands with First Lady Jill Biden and his wife. Special counsel David Weiss brought charges after a proposed plea deal fell apart last year.
This case was about the illegal choices defendant made while in the throes of addiction. It was these choices and the combination of guns and drugs that made his conduct dangerous.
And after that verdict, President
was to try to find them new homes.
In order to assist the dogs, getting them out, getting them exercise, maybe getting one of them adopted. So it's great for our employees to come out, get some exercise, connect with each other, and also connect with the shelter dogs.
The city of Aurora has hosted monthly wellness walks for employees. It looks like the pups are enjoying it too. This is something they've been doing since the pandemic.
How can you resist that little
I know.
face?
You love it. Love to see it. Get outside, right? Well, we are following some developing news out of Fort Collins.
And it could be a game changer in the medical field. Coming up, we take you to CSU. It is getting a big grant to develop a home test for HIV.
And see how much Colorado is getting as part of a nationwide settlement over some of Johnson & Johnson's baby powder products.
Well, I hope your air conditioning is working. We're going to go from a toasty Tuesday to a super warm Wednesday. I'll let you know how hot you will be and just how long that heat wave will last.
We continue to cover Colorado First at 5. Our state is set to receive over $14 million as part of a nationwide settlement with Johnson & Johnson. The company is accused of misleading consumers about the safety of some baby powder products that contained talc and may be tied to cases of cancer and other illnesses in people. Colorado is one of 43 states as part of this total $700 million settlement. And your reporter in northern Colorado says we can expect some important medical research out of CSU in Fort Collins.
The National Institute of Health awarded researchers nearly $3 million to make a rapid at-home test for HIV. As your reporter in northern Colorado, Dylan Thomas, learned, like a COVID test, it would be low cost, quick, and convenient.
For years there, Colorado State University was a leader in the education world when it came to researching COVID-19 and vaccines and testing. And now, with all they have learned from COVID, there's now a push to try and provide at-home testing when it comes to HIV.
We're also trying to expand out of COVID and look at other needs.
While at-home tests became crucial during the pandemic, CSU researchers started wondering where else could the science and technology be implemented? And that's when the idea of creating a new testing for HIV came to mind.
We've been actually trying to develop low-cost diagnostics for a number of years.
Brian Geis and his team explored the idea of at-home testing for HIV, and so far have learned it may be achievable with current technology. By pairing a low-cost testing device with a phone, much like tap to pay, people could soon get rapid results.
All the patient would need to do is take a small sample, in the case of HIV, a blood drop from a finger, put it onto the device, and then to read the assay, they simply put their cell phone on top of the device and press a button. So this is a prototype still.
But CSU's team believes they are within reach of being able to produce this at large scale. Geis says this test is ultimately increasing the likelihood that people will be testing and getting their treatment that they need, instead of having to navigate the pressures of going to a clinic where they may be shy or embarrassed.
And that, we think, will also help people become more comfortable doing these tests.
As of right now, CSU believes they could produce this test for around $15 each, but at scale, they say they could bring that price way down, hoping to be able to provide it for more people across the world. In Fort Collins, Dylan Thomas covering Colorado First.
Dylan, thank you. And Dylan covers what's happening in neighborhoods across northern Colorado. If you have a story idea, check out cbscolorado.com or call our tip line. A very
really good handle and idea of how the systems work. Other than cool, I don't know if I have a better word for it.
Cool indeed. In addition to the donation, Larry H. Miller will also give students the opportunity to get a job at that dealership after they graduate.
I love that. We are following your First Alert weather tonight.
Yep, First Alert Chief Meteorologist Dave Aguilera joining us in the new dig.
Yeah. Well, I've been locked back in the weather office for 2 months.
We freed Dave. We freed him.
I forgot how many steps I get in coming all the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A workout.
Well, hey, if you're getting your steps in tomorrow, it is going to be hot for you tomorrow. Let's jump into it. Right now, we're watching a few clouds that are building down south along the Palmer Ridge, and we've had a few thunderstorms down there. We're looking at Green Mountain, really a pretty shot there. And temperatures are warm. It's 91 on Lookout Mountain as we come to you right now. And look at the other temperatures we have for you. Up north in Wellington, 87 degrees up there, 88 in Boulder, and 83 in Centennial for you right now. There are a few thunderstorms, but they're south of the Mile High City here. You can see from Denver northward, we're mostly sunny, and just from Cass Rock and Lyman, shooting all the way down to the north side of Colorado Springs, some thunderstorms down there. As we go into the evening now, there's also a batch of moisture coming up from down south that'll mix together, and this whole area here could have some severe thunderstorms popping as we go into the afternoon. And in fact, it extends from Larkspur and southern Elbert County all the way down to the north side of Raton Pass down there, where large hail, damaging winds, and heavy rain can occur as we go through the night tonight. Here's a look at the futurecast now. You can see most of the bigger storms down south. We stay mostly dry up over northern Colorado. Tomorrow, mostly sunny across the state. But by afternoon, as we get into the heat of the day, we might have a few high-based gusty thunderstorms popping right along the Front Range and the I-25 corridor here. I don't think we'll see much rain from those, but we might see a sprinkler or two and some gusty winds from time to time as those kick off. And they should be done relatively quickly as we get into the evening hours. Lows tonight, mostly 50s and 60s from Fort Collins all the way down to Centennial, and highs tomorrow about 95 in Boulder, should be about 95 in Aurora, as well as the DIA site. We're looking at about 95 for the high out there, and the record is 97 degrees. And take a look at this. Grand Junction should make it to 100 degrees, as will Lamar as well. Most mountains will be in the 70s and 80s tomorrow. And then on Thursday, 95. The record is 99. So both days just a little shy of the record. Here's the reason why: that big hot ridge of high pressure coming in. But look at this little cutoff low. It's what we call a short wave. That'll ride over that high and slide in Friday and Saturday and give us a couple of chances of thunderstorms coming your way. So Friday, only 86 with that moving through, scattered afternoon thunderstorms. On Saturday, 87 with a slight chance of a late day thunderstorm. That'll be in Denver, but if you're going to the Renaissance Festival, should be about 82 on Saturday, 88 on Sunday. Better chance of storms coming your way by the time we get to Saturday. And then on Sunday, 91 for Father's Day. Looks pretty good, just a slight chance of a late day thunderstorm. And then after that, for next week, we are looking at temperatures in the upper to middle 80s. So we have some pretty nice weather all the way through already the Juneteenth time period around here. If there is any severity over the course of the next few days, I think Friday might be kind of interesting for thunderstorms.
Okay, but it's all looking sunny and nice for Dad.
Yeah, I think Dads are going to be happy this year. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dave. Well, tonight on our stream, we're taking you behind the story on expired license plate tags and temporary paper license plates. For years, Colorado police have been noticing more illegal tags, and now police tell us they're seeing more fake plates. Your reporter in Jefferson County, Karen Morfitt, told me she noticed a police stop about a temporary tag while out on another story.
Well, we were actually outside Casa Bonita because we were doing a story on the reservation changes that might be coming, and naturally curious that we are. That's why we're journalists. We saw a police stop outside of Casa Bonita, and they spent a lot of time looking at this temporary tag, and eventually took it. And then we saw the driver drive away. Started asking questions. How big of a problem really is this?
So your reporter behind the story streams tonight at 8 o'clock. You can watch on your connected TV through the CBS News app.
Cortland Sutton is back at Broncos minicamp.
It's exciting. Coming up next, hear from the star player when Romy Bean joins us with the update.
A familiar face back at Broncos minicamp today.
Yeah, Cortland Sutton taking part today. We got Romy Bean joining us now. Romy, it's also very exciting, but there's only just a few days left of the minicamp.
Yeah, and a lot to get done before training camp, but it was great to see Cortland Sutton. We expected him to be there, but you still never know when things are in a little bit of a tenuous situation. The Broncos in their final week of practice before breaking for summer. A lot to get done. Sean Payton says he's happy with what he's seeing from all of his players so far, and a great sight to see Cortland Sutton back in the mix today for the first time this offseason. Sutton had a really light day. He participated in warm-ups and individual drills before he headed out to the side field to do individual work. Now, Sean Payton said Sutton's in great shape, but they just want to be smart about working him back in slowly. As far as his contract, his team has been working to get a deal redone with the front office, but Sutton said they are currently at a stalemate. He also said he believes the right thing will get done.
I hope that I am a part of the bigger picture. I've been told that, that's what the game plan is. I've also been told some other things. So, we'll see what happens. I hope that I'm able to, be a part of the game plan. I feel like I have so much more left in myself, in my body, mentally, physically. I feel like I have so much that's left to be able to give. And, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to, go out and produce and do more.
The other veteran wide receiver, Tim Patrick, had a great day today. Sean Payton said Patrick has all the intangibles, as is an important piece of this locker room, especially with the young team. You need veterans like Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton.
Right. There's also a lot of eyes on the QB for the Broncos. Have you learned anything else on what they're watching?
I'll tell you what, they looked really good today, Kelly. All three of them really consistent. No turnovers today. That's a big deal for Sean Payton. A couple incompletions, but I know everybody wants to talk about Bo Nix. He is so accurate. Zach Wilson still has the best arm strength. Jarrett Stidham, I like to call him Steady. Right, but everybody's looking good. It's going to be a good competition. Sean Payton said he does not have a set date, though.
Okay.
So stop asking him.
Okay, well, then I won't ask about that. Thank you so much, Romy.
Well, you might have noticed some changes around us today as we've moved into our brand new set. We have a new expansive area to showcase your reporter stories and anchor the latest breaking news and first alert weather from downtown Denver. We hope this new set helps you better understand the news around us here in Colorado. And we want you to see how your team is always covering Colorado first. We are so excited to share this with you all. Coming up next, we'll get another check on Dave from your First Alert forecast.
All right, get your thinking caps on. We got a night of investigations to solve ahead on CBS Colorado. We got FBI up first at 7, FBI International following at 8 o'clock, and then FBI Most Wanted is next at 9. And then I hope you'll join us back here tonight at 10. First, let's get another check of the forecast with Dave.
Hey, Cal, we got a little severe thunderstorm way down south, just between Colorado Springs and Pueblo down there. They could have up to ping pong ball size hail out of that storm crossing I-25. Meantime, around here, maybe a shower south from Highlands Ranch down towards Castle Rock tonight. And get ready for the heat. Tomorrow, mid-90s. Might get a brief gusty storm in the afternoon. We do it again on Thursday. 2 hot days. And then the next cold front gives us some relief on Friday, 86 with a better chance of scattered storms. And right now, the weekend is looking good. 87 on Saturday, a slight chance of a storm, and then hotter for dads, 91 on Sunday. Same deal there, about a 10% chance of a storm late in the day.
Thank you for that relief, because 95, woo.
Yeah.
Right.
So good it's only 2 days.
Yeah,
you know,
no kidding.
After that, we
ready.
need some cooling down. And one thing I do want to mention, too, is be careful on those 2 days, because we had a fire today erupt, and today wasn't even too hot.
Right.
We get into the heat like this, and we get a little gusty storm in the afternoon. Some of those sparks could start flying out there. So
Doesn't take much.
be careful.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Thank
Our
you.
news continues now on our 24-hour stream, CBS News Colorado.
Yeah, remember, you can watch on your connected TV through the CBS News app or on your favorite streaming service. Up next, the evening news with Nora O'Donnell.